Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show, where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 1 p.m. Central, as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. It's always so much fun. You can find us on the radio at icradio.media, where we are Fox News affiliates. You may also find us on television, Channel 182 on Charter Communications, Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast, the Newscasters.com. As a matter of fact, right here, I have Victoria Lee Scotch, who's the brainchild of the Newscaster studio. And you guys are growing like crazy. Every time I talk to you, something new is happening. What are you doing, girl?
Absolutely. Well, you know what it is? It's like our country, Donna. We've had enough of mainstream media. And now I have been putting up a post for at least a decade. And that post has always said, we are who the mainstream media fears. Today, that's more true than it was 10 years ago. Remember, when I started doing all of this radio stuff, we didn't even have the word podcast. Okay, that's how long I've been doing this. There was not even a podcast. But I was very blessed to be put in a position and had wonderful people from around this country with the same concerns as mine. Mm-hmm. And even though, I have this New York, Long Island, whatever it is, and I have Southern gentlemen, and Father put us all together. And that's what everything and why we are witnessing what we've witnessed in the last 24 hours. Because our money in God we trust. And somewhere along the line, America, its values have changed. And we can't blame anybody. We can blame that we, the people, took our eyes kind of off. There was instant gratification. The internet came up. It took us on wild Mr. Toad's wild ride. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened. And in that, just as history shows through the Roman Empire, bad people are able to come in and set seeds. And mm-hmm. what happened is there was enough seeds planted in this country that America started waking up, because we did have a taste of Donald Trump for 4 years. It wasn't that this time we had to just believe what he was saying. He had a proven record. And that was like, America, we are being given a blessing. We are under grace here. We must capture this moment. And there are so many people that I knew 10 years ago that had something to say because of what we were facing in this country. Very little people looked at the downhill slide. Everybody was just looking at they're making money and new Bitcoin and TikTok and and just, not really paying attention. Mm-hmm. And I knew that it was very important for me to keep my head down. And that's why I went back to school, because what better way than to go and finish my degree in theology at a Christian university to be able to step into the position that where I was supposed to be in the president of the Newscasters, in order to have not necessarily my opinion, though I do have my opinion. And in the voting booth, I don't have to share, I share, my vote is very private to me. I will share on issues and this and that, but to sit there and open yourself up to be labeled is not fair. And it was never meant to be like that. The privacy of a vote. I mean, I remember at 18, my father walking us down to town hall, Alphonse D'Amato, who went on to be a New York senator, who was town of Hempstead supervisor at the time. But I remember the whole thing to register, to vote, and how important. And you don't have to tell anybody, your vote is your vote. So in all that was my upbringing. But I did realize in what was happening to this country in the last 15 to 20 years that we were really drifting far away from our true values. And Lawrence, my other half, was very, very knowledgeable. And he was an incredible patriot. And he wrote his book. Mm-hmm. And from that moment on, I just started doing some radio while he was writing, and we started sharing. And before I knew it, I was with another company, and that had reached its plateau, and I had again make another decision at a crucial time. Do I stay here and pull it, or do I really believe what I know, that people have experiences, they have strengths, and they have their own hopes that need to be put together? And that's what I decided to do. And going through school allowed me the clarity to see through the trees a little bit. So I'm not so affected by the political arena because I answer to an even greater source. So in that, I have been very blessed to bring strong voices to the Newscaster studio. And yes, we are growing. Every time I turn around, my business development, Mr. Murray Evans, my brother from another mother, right? Here I'm like this, and Murray like, well, that's okay. And it's like, we so go together though. It's wonderful. Mm-hmm. So in that, new every time I turn around, he's saying we got new channel up, which is just incredible. Our studios are a place where people can have their own platform. And the good thing about the Newscaster studio, Donna, is like what you do. We can't really cover topics and get in-depth details if we're only doing a 2-minute snippet here and there. Mm-hmm. What we've been able to do is bring people into conversations, and I will entertain either side because I believe the art of debate is really is a gift to be able to do that. And if we lose the art of debate, we're leaving ourselves nothing with but violence. And that's why we're seeing on our college campuses that our youngsters are our young adults are so easily ignited that, because they don't have the knowledge that they need. And that's proven if you've watched Charlie Kirk on our college campuses. He has turned so many young minds. He went out there and he knew the colleges were just, not giving our young people what they needed. And he's been on the forefront. And to see our colleges now, when he shows up, instead of demonizing him, he is now welcomed. He is cheered. He is thanked. And all he was trying to do was open up a dialogue. And that's my point. The Newscaster studio is growing because we're allowing dialogue. And we have great people that have done incredible things, and have experiences to share. And I am honored. I take no credit for what's built here. I was guided and by the grace of God, I have been able to accomplish what he set before me. And there's so much more. That's what's exciting to me. Everybody's like, how much more are you going to do? And I'm like, I don't know. Everything I can. Why not?
Well, I'll tell you what I find interesting. Before the election, okay, so there were interviewers out there from Newsmax and from Fox News, those places, and they were talking to young people. And I was amazed at what I was hearing. So he was talking with a young lady who's in college, and he wanted to know who she was going to vote for. And she said, Donald Trump. And he said, why Donald Trump? She said, because I can't find a house. She said, I'm going to college. And she said, I'm having to live with my parents. She can't go to the college she wants to go to because she has to be close to the town of her parents so that she can have a place to live. And she said, I can't afford the housing. She said, I'm voting president. She said, I'm voting Donald Trump. But they were going, a few of them were like, oh, he's mean and it hurts people's feelings and all this kind of stuff. But the biggest majority of the young people seem to have skipped a generation. They seem to be smarter than their parents.
100%. And you want to know what I kind of attribute that to? In my generation, I am of the mindset that I skipped a generation before I had my daughter. Okay. Mm-hmm. If I would have had my daughter when my brothers and sisters all had their children, it's different. I had a different influence. I was like a grandparent raising my child.
Well, you don't look like a grandparent.
Well, but I'm saying when I had her, I mean, it was true. I had the experience of the world. So I believe in a lot of my friends also. I mean, my group of friends, we have Thanksgiving this Saturday night. We've been friends. There are 20 something of us getting together as we do every Friendsgiving. But we have been friends for almost 30 years, this particular group. And all of our children are flourishing. They still have the woes of the world, don't get me wrong. But we've got incredible accomplishments because these particular children were raised in a very family, neighborhood, environment, even though here in Long Beach, that's hard to come by. But I just happened to be put in a place. I mean, my daughter's elementary school, there are only 2 classes per grade. You were either in this class or that class. You know, that's how small it was. And it's just really interesting that Saturday night, once again, I'll be with these people that we were the ones, as I can see now, as our children are hitting their early 30s, that we did wait so we could be a different influence in our children. And there is a big difference. Family values have a lot to do with what we're seeing in our young people and our colleges and stuff. And they said, here was another interesting fact, that today Spanish that are here working were a strong turnout for Trump, you know, because, and that's impressive to me.
Yeah, but you know why I think that is? My daughter-in-law, you know, is from Russia. And so in Russia, of course, it's not a nice place to live. I mean, it's you know, it's a horrible place. You own nothing and you'll love it, like you always say. You know, we're going to mistreat you and you're going to like it. Well, that's what she grew up in. So she had this analogy. She said, "What if all the illegals who are here and they're going to let them vote?" She said, "What if they're taking the money that's been given to them by the government and they're going, 'Thank you for the money,' but they turn right around and vote for Trump? What if?" Because they came from communism. The reason they came to America is because they want away from communism.
Well, let me tell you, we got to give a lot of credit here, okay? Because they did. And there was a lot of people that, you know, I work hard. And Trump says, you know, that whole garbage thing was a blessing. That was
Thank you for throwing me in that briar patch, brother.
Me too. When I saw that woman in the back of the garbage truck and she had a full blown ball gown on with garbage bags, I was like, we've made it. And there she is, all bubbled and black, and it was just, there you go. But the point is that, you know, we've had enough, and there are enough strong voices that have, you know, and enough small businesses. Don't forget, enough small businesses. And then you beat us up during COVID, our small businesses. And now, you know, with anything we're trying to leave for our families is going to be destroyed. Capital gain, whatever you're doing, it's like. So I think a lot of people, though they didn't want to, I'm voting for Trump. I think a lot of them went in there, and I think a lot of the ballots. And I think, well, who's going to know? I'm just, you know, I'm mailing it. I'm mailing it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean. It's just an interesting time we find ourselves, and especially now. Now I find very interesting because, you know, they're not going to go away silent.
Okay, that's what I want to ask you about.
Yeah.
Okay, because there's still a few weeks left. These people are in charge. They're a little bit too quiet. You know, it's like, okay, my son was all boy. I'm telling you. I mean, he was all over the place. If he was ever quiet, I would go search and find out what he was into. He was into something, I promise you. Why are they so quiet? What do you think they have up their sleeve? They know they've lost. They can't do anything about that because he not only won, he won everything, the popular vote, everything. It was overwhelming what he did.
Yes.
So what are they up to?
Well, it's really interesting. So even I try to switch around to hear the other guys. I want to hear what they're saying, you know, and it seems as if the charges should be dropped against him as one thing. I don't know if they're gonna try to. I don't know.
Are they going to try to make a deal with him? Because Trump knows the guts on everybody.
100. I do. I do. Well, you know what? The only reason why I think that's what you're saying might be it, because he can't run again. So would he do the best that he could now in the time? I think he might. I just don't know. Well, I do like that Schumer is out of that is one
Thank
of
you, Jesus.
My greatest gifts was to watch Schmucky Schumer be put out to pasture Okay. Not kidding.
But
So,
we have Shift.
well, and Garvey lost his shift. I mean, you know what? Let's face it. The only reason why Schiff got it is because of the money and how, they couldn't let that go.
Yeah.
They couldn't. Schiff knows too much.
Mm-hmm.
They had to pay to keep him there. They couldn't. And it was really interesting because I had somebody on my show not that long ago that made a comment on my show to just wait because Adam Schiff was going to be exposed. So it's very interesting. Did he mean before the election or did he mean after the election?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. But we do have to realize, Donna, that there are enough new people put into positions that we are going to see that tug of war.
Mm-hmm.
We are. I mean, this is a landslide. This is not something here and there and just did it by a nose. This was done like, yeah, give us the change. We want, yeah, Camilla, just the change we wanted.
let me ask you a question. Okay, so, and we know that Biden, his feelings were hurt. I mean, basically what they did is they ditched him and they threw Kamala in.
100.
So what are your thoughts about this?
Well,
but let me ask you this. Do you think, okay, I think he and Jill privately voted for Trump. I really do. I just, because his feelings are hurt. I mean, just really bad. He kept saying and doing things. He basically handed the presidency over to Trump when he called all of us trash.
100.
I mean, he handed it to us on a silver platter.
Do you know that what Jill wore to go vote?
Uh-uh.
She wore a red dress.
Ooh, that's Republican.
Yeah. Well, go look it up on Google. She wore a red dress. I was like, are you kidding me? Are you?
Normally on voting day, a Democrat would not wear anything that pertained to red.
No, she wore a red dress to go and cast her vote.
I think they voted for Trump. And I think something happened. Okay, so he goes on his little retreat before she comes in to run for office. He goes on his little retreat saying, I'm not going to change anything. My mind has not changed. I'm still going to run for president. Something happened that weekend. Then he comes back reluctantly. She's in his place. Do you think I know his feelings were hurt about it, but do you think it was his way of the grudge match? He was saying too many stupid things that were helping Trump.
Right. But you see, they also held over him the money for his library. So he tried. I truly believe that he did just for his own, you know what I'm saying? I know, I think he knows exactly what he did. I think the garbage, I'm not going to say it. I don't know. There's a hard line here. Who do we listen and who,
because
as far as I'm concerned, I think he turned on them.
I think he did too. He wasn't supporting her like.
Absolutely not. No. It just wasn't a good. I
think he was a little jealous because, I mean, he somewhat campaigned. I mean, he had like 60 years of campaigning is what I'm trying to say. So he's been out there and he has campaigned. She's not campaigned.
But he also had all that money that he had to just give to her.
Mm-hmm.
A Biden giving away that much money? No, Biden's only used to getting that much money. They ain't used to giving it away. But I truly do believe that at the end, he doesn't. I think he's at the age now where, when men get to a certain age, they don't give a crap what they say. They're saying what they're saying because they have no reason not to. Mm-hmm. I truly believe that what he was going down, he was trying to take as many as he could. That's what I think. I think
it ain't over till it's over.
I think he was saving grace, thinking he was saving grace.
But here's what I think. I think he wanted Trump to win, Because, okay, let me give you an example. Phil and I used to own a Snelling Personnel Services, and we would help people find jobs. They were like management positions and that kind of thing. Well, there was a woman who was leaving a management position, and they put her in charge of hiring her replacement, which was a dumb move on the company side. She didn't want anybody better than her. Okay. Right. She thought she was all that in a bag of chips. And so I would send like the sharpest people over, the people who could just, but it was obvious she did not want a replacement better than her. Okay. I kind of viewed Biden as not wanting a replacement better than what he thought he was. Let's send the dumbest person out there to replace me, was what I gathered.
Yeah, but it's also too, just think about it. You're the president, and now they're just going to push you over here and take your VP, and she's going right there. I mean, that's a hell of a blow for any person.
That had to be something.
That's humiliating.
And he's a prideful person, so I'm very proud.
But but it's humiliating.
I would think so.
And I don't know. Do I think that they better keep him quiet because you can't trust anything he's going to say at this point. That's why now, no, we can't put him out there anymore. He's done.
If you know anybody who puts memes together, I got a good one. You remember when he stole the election, but anyway, he becomes president. And so Kamala goes, Joe, you did it. Somebody needs to do a meme of that and then do another one with Biden going, but you didn't get it. That's the world we're in. I'm telling you, I bet in privacy, if you could just be a fly on the wall, he voted Trump.
Yeah, I'll bet. You know what? That would be his definitely, that would be his trump card. Against them.
It would. But now, what do you think Trump is going to do once in office? Because now Trump's a very successful person. Success, now you get aggravated at the stupid things people do to you, but when it comes right down to it, success is best revenge. As a matter of fact, he said that. He said success is the best revenge. Do you think he's going to spend a whole lot of time on them?
No, I don't. I think he's going to spend a whole lot of time on we, the American people. He knows the only thing I don't really care what we have everything now. So I don't care. Now you asked for this, Mr. President, and we, the American people, believed you and put you there. I don't care what they have to say anymore. All I want to hear is, what are you going to do first? There are a lot of issues. I don't want to hear what Schumer, Pelosi. I don't care what Biden said. I don't care what a Democrat says. We are in control right now. Mr. President, don't fight with them. Talk to we the people now. And now give us comfort that help is on the way, that our borders will be closed, that our streets will become safer than they are right now, that, I am serious that you are going to protect we, the American people, and what we have here, the destruction. He has enough to work on to build us back up. Remember, we have to make America great again.
Yeah, but this guy he's a master when it comes to marketing.
And that's what it is. It's hard work.
He is a master on this. So actually, and he likes having the power. I mean, that's why he's president of the United States. So this will actually give him more power with them sitting in the background wondering what he's going to do.
100%. And the thing is, it's going to even rub it in their faces more when he does things for we the people, and we are in glory of what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. And it's a huge success.
There's a big difference than us hitting the streets in protest and us hitting the streets in praise. Mm-hmm. Big difference. Absolutely. I know what side of the street I would.
The other side doing anything in protest? Like, are they going to pull out, any of the craziness they've done before, burning down streets?
I don't even know if they can. I really don't. The one thing that stays in my mind when I was mentioning Charlie Kirk earlier was the one thing he turned around to everybody that stepped up and had a question for him. Name one thing, an accomplishment of Kamala Harris's. There wasn't a single student on a college campus who are fighting for Kamala that could step up to that microphone and answer Charlie's question. And then everything that they said When you stand in the truth, all you have to do is speak it. And that's what he did. And that's why minds were changed. Because just like what you shared, that young girl is because I can't do anything. That's the truth. And the more we understand that truth, the more we can see what we really do have in common. But there is going to be something that is going to, they're not done. And this is the hard part for me. You know, the hard part for me is they're not going to put their tail between the legs and go away quietly. Not going to happen.
I don't know how. That's not in their book. It's
There's
not
too
in the
much
playbook
at
at all.
stake. There's too much money. Their dirty little fingers are too deep into the pie that they can't even pull them out anymore. So what we have to do is we have to keep exposing. And that comes from people like you and I in the Newscasters studio and, you know, and all the voices that are coming to speak. We have a great variety now of people that like can get into a conversation and you can learn something. You can understand what an issue is. It was really great. Sandra O'Toole, who is America's favorite professor on her channel, is a good friend of mine. I went with her on Sunday to Signal Hill Cavalry Church with Pastor James, asked her to do a presentation. She did a presentation on the 10 Amendments. It was so interesting in there to watch people not really have any idea. And what it was is she was able to use the 10 and to show, you know, for people to reflect in their own lives how they have been, you know, how those rights have been affecting them. And it was very interesting to see. Even one of my favorite was the question, is it legal to burn the American flag? Most of the country, it's not. California, it is. Interesting where it was, the more we get in these conversations and we start exposing what the government, what is happening without just, you know, we got to be really careful of social media because AI has such an influence that there are things that we think are real or not. So I'm going to stick with videos like this where I can reach out and touch you, Donna. You know what I'm saying? and try to bring conversations to people that they personally can grow from. And that's what we do. Not just the news, but you bring information as far as crafts and things and all naturally made stuff. And then you have a traffic report. And then we have a sports channel now. And we have, you know, Alveda King, and we have spiritual channels, and we have all different variety of genre of voices from across this country. And that's what I always saw the Newscaster studio to be, where people can sit right where they are and to be able to communicate. And, you know, we've been given this wonderful gift of the internet. And I'm very glad that I have been part of the generation to use it for the good, because Lord knows, you know, with money making on the internet, it's horrible. You know, we haven't seen a generation that's going to have, I'm still wondering too, I'll be real honest with you. All of these kids are on their phones like this, right? You know, I've sat here with this competition, so I'm doing a lot of posting. I put my phone down and I'm like, wow. I mean, you know, and I'm noticing, but I'm only thrown out there wondering, like, the problems that the whole generation is going to have in 10 years. I mean, it's just,
they're going to have carpal tunnel. They're going to be humped back. But how many of them you see like this?
I know. It's terrible. It really is. It really, and I just like, wow. So the point is the more I think that we can bring a group of time where it can actually change people's thoughts and feelings, rather than scroll like this, like dislike. But what are you learning? What are you learning? There's nothing there. At least if we stop here, it's like, oh, what are these two? Oh, what are they talking about? you know, and then you can actually hear a little bit more in depth, a little bit of real life, a little bit of how it's affecting you in the South and how it affects me in California. This is what we need to do. I mean, you know, we're allowing our government to separate us through our states.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's not, we are the United States, and that's what we have to learn.
And we're in an opportunity now to stick together, and only with Trump could this happen. We've got to go into a commercial break. We'll be right back in just a few minutes. Y'all hang in there, okay? Queen City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of the Cobb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer
yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
You ask and we listen. We're finally bringing the most requested offer ever. Get the queen size premium MyPillow, now only $19.98. MyPillow is made with patented adjustable fill. It adjusts to your exact individual needs regardless of your sleep position. It helps keep your neck aligned and holds its shape all night long so you get the best sleep of your life. But that's not all. Get our 6-piece kitchen or bath towel sets only $25. Our brand new mattress topper as low as $69.98. Get our famous MyPillow bed sheets for as low as $25 and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get huge discounts on all MyPillow products, including the premium queen size MyPillow, only $19.98. That's the lowest price ever. Don't delay, order today. From all of us here at MyPillow, thanks America!
Good afternoon. We're back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show, where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 1 p.m. Central, as we get to ride home with you in the afternoon. I'm with Miss Brainiac right here, Victoria Lee Scott. Oh, and let's talk about the competition, because you're in a competition right now, and folks can vote for you, right?
Yes, they can. Every day, every 24 hours, you have a free vote. But everything that I'm doing is for breast cancer awareness. And that's the main cause. So there is donation buttons. But yes, I am in the Fab for over 40 contest. And it's for New Beauty, cover of New Beauty magazine. And the prize money is like $40,000. So my news company could definitely use the exposure and the money for another year to keep operating for expenses. So I jumped into this. I don't know. I mean, I've been a competitive bodybuilder for many years. COVID came, and that was the last competition I did right before COVID. Took a gold, silver medal. And I figured, that was it for me. But it was interesting because I went back to college and I thought one way, and then I built the news company another way. And then all of a sudden, this competition comes up. And I really gave it a lot of thought. But it was like, I'm looking at all of these contestants. And it's fabulous over 40. And I'm saying to myself, Vic, you have accomplished so much. And I really have. That it's only because I just had a birthday and I just lost my dad the morning of my birthday last week. So it gave me a reflection. And it really allowed me to reflect that I've done and I've accomplished a lot. But it's nice to look back and know that there was a greater purpose for everything that I did. And it's not just I did this, and this. No, I did this. And then when this contest came up, and I'm like, you know what? I really want to do this. For the fact is that I am meant to encourage, to inspire, to unite. That's what I do. And that's what this whole competition is about. And I've been able to do my own videos and music. I've been very blessed in this time to really reflect back and just say, I hope that whatever I'm doing at this age, that I can inspire people to do it.
And you're doing it.
I mean, I'm over. This is for women fabulous 40. I am 2 decades over that and more. So you know what? Why not?
What? Age is a number. Okay, so I see people I went to school with who've retired out. I can't live that kind of a life. So I just turned 65 in June. And
fabulous.
So what? It's just a number. You can still do so many things with your life. I had a boss one time who mentioned this. She said, I was 25 and I had this first big management job. I was very young, very naive, had a lot to learn. I thought I knew it all. Well, come to find out I knew nothing. So, but anyway, she saw me. I was not taking care of myself. I had a son, 3 years old. And I was running all over the place, not really managing my time the right way. So she said, her name was Kathy. And Kathy said, I want to meet with you. Now, this is back before cell phones and all that kind of stuff. So I had no idea. I thought, am I in trouble for something? I can't think of anything I've done. I work all the time. I can't think of it. That's what she wanted to meet with me about. Right. She said, you're going to burn out if you don't learn how to take good care of yourself. You're going to burn out, and you're not spending any time with your son. And I was separated from my ex then. And she said, there are 3 important things. Number 1 is God. Number 2 is your family. And number 3 is your career. And I'm shocked. And I'm thrown back. And I said, I would have thought you would have said career is number 1, because she's a pretty powerful woman. And she said, no, you're not going to have anything if you don't put God first, your family second, then me, then your career. She said, because you're going to burn out if you don't do those things. I learned so much from her. And then this is something else she said. She said, what I want you to do, I'm going to give you some homework. I want you to go home and I want you to write your eulogy. I said, write my, that sounds depressing. Right. And she said, no, I want you to write what you want people to say about you when you pass.
Right.
That was wonderful.
And that's what I've done. That's why I did the variety of all these pictures and everything I put up in this competition, and why I keep posting them. You know what? Those pictures of me in that competition, the bodybuilding pictures on stage, I'm 60 years old in those pictures. Are you kidding me?
I know. Oh, by the way, you are so right about exercise.
Well, here's the greatest thing for me. If you look at those pictures, there's this big grin on my face. And even my dog, like, what were you laughing at? I said, because it finally hit me after all these years of doing these competitions. Here I am on stage, and my whole life I was afraid of being judged. And here I am in a bikini at 60 years old, welcoming people to judge me. If that isn't coming full circle, I don't know what the heck is. I've already won being up there. And that was the key. But you know, the key to it all is, Donna, is self-discipline. When you are able to have self-discipline, you learn to take care of yourself. If nothing is off limits, and let me tell you, I have owned my hair salon for going on 30 years. I have clients much younger than me, where now I don't even say my age anymore because I don't want to, I just don't want to. I don't want to make somebody feel bad. I really don't. And I don't mean to say that, but it's true. Because I'm looking at people, my age group are coming into my salon and now they're in walkers and they're falling in the chair that they can't move and they can't get up and they can't do this and they can't do that and they're complaining about everything. I'm not going down like that.
I don't want to either. And you've got to take care of yourself so you can take care of other people.
And that's what it comes. It's not hard, Donna. It comes from self-discipline. If we are trying to discipline everything and control everything around us and not ourselves, that makes for that ages us. Mm-hmm. It shows on our face and there's no light in your eyes. Okay. You have got to stop. And that's what joy is. Joy is you put Jesus, then others, and then yourself. You want joy in your life? Stick to that formula.
Oh, I love that.
That's all. And Jesus is the only, there are two things that only in this whole wide world that Jesus can give us. Peace and joy. That's it. The world can't give us joy and the world can't give us peace. Only Jesus. And that's what I've learned what joy is. When I put Jesus, then others, and then yourself, that's my formula. And in that, he gives me everything I need. Don, he gives me so much that the world, me being here with you, this is my overflow. How cool is it to live like that?
It's a wonderful way to live your life.
I'm so full that I can give you my overflow.
Mm-hmm. And it's wonderful. But I did want to mention this about exercise. And I think I briefly mentioned it last time you were on the show. Yeah. You're absolutely right about exercise. You don't overdo it. I mean, because you gave me some simple exercises. Now I'm thinking, I can handle that. I'm an active person. For goodness, she's only telling me to do 10 of them. So I did 20 and I was like, oh my God. It's using the bands. It's almost like a huge rubber band.
Yeah.
You were right about that. I was like, you know why she's talking.
Your foot and you do a few curls of those and you'll have some nice guns, girls. You're going to hurt.
Hey, look.
Yeah, see,
and it really does work. And it doesn't take that much effort either.
No, and here's what people do not realize. Do you realize that a 60-year-old can build as much muscle mass as a 25-year-old?
I believe it.
It can be done. It can be done. And you know, it's real interesting. And I just like now that I finally got to the point where everybody was always, oh, you do too much. You do this. What are you doing now? What are you doing? What are you doing? Now, it's like everything that I've done, I did and I knew I was doing so that I could be here now. And guess what? It's all done. Mm-hmm. How many people sit and wish I coulda, shoulda, woulda? I'm not going down like that.
Okay. How do you get the drive? And I'm not talking about people our age anymore. I'm talking about people a lot younger than us. And how do you get that drive? How do you get that ambition? And how do you start a habit?
There's only one way that this
is going to give us some nuggets right now.
Sorry. Mm-hmm. If you're really going to ask me why my life is and how I've gotten to be who I am, it's come from many years of taking. You have to take inside of you the worst that's inside of you. And you bring it to the cross. You bring it. And the cross is what you believe in. The greatest thing about God is that we as individuals can custom design a God of our own understanding. There's no right or wrong. If it's inside of you, then let it talk. Let it talk to you. Let something in there. We're so busy screaming out to the world, you know, our needs and our wants. How about if we just go silent for a little bit and let something tell us what we need? For me, it just happened through a lot of tears. A lot of tears. I fought this world so hard, Donna, that I fought it until it broke me. And when it broke me, I found a strength greater than myself. And I never looked back. And that was August 7th, 1989. And it was the same day I just happened to have the last drink I've ever had in my life. Thank goodness. but I chose to change me. Is it easy? No, but there comes a point where we sit with ourselves and we ask, what don't I like about myself? Remember we were talking in the show back where I said everybody should sit with themselves and ask themselves questions. That's how I began. Am I happy with the way I talk? No. Am I happy with the language I use sometimes? No. But the more we do a self-reflection, the more we can, until finally, with me, it came to a point where I could laugh at myself, where at one point I would be hurt by what I was admitting. But by coming to that, come to Jesus moment, call it. And do let me tell you and your audience, the words I am speaking right now humble me beyond anything, because I am not get up on your soapbox Bible thumper. What I am sharing is how I went from a deep, dark jail cell to sitting here with you as the president of a company with a degree in theology and owning my own business for almost 30 years and raising a daughter who last week at 27 years old grabbed my hand and thanked me for all that I did for her.
That's the ultimate right there.
Beyond anything, those only happened, Donna, because many years ago, I chose to just say, I'm nothing. Help me make something out of a life that I've been given. And I didn't listen to this world. I listened to what's inside. In that time, I sat there and I wrote, the world is a 10-foot wall, and some people don't seem to have much trouble getting over it. They've got everything going for them. They've got family to help them. They're smart and they're educated. Other people don't have it so easy. They're poor, uneducated, the wrong color, the wrong sex. Maybe they don't even know who their parents are. But if they're going to make it in life, they've got to get over that wall somehow. I'm sorry about Mom. I'm sorry Dad didn't give a damn. But those are the facts, and nobody's going to lower that wall. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stop doing crazy things to get attention. Stop screwing up your life and figure out a way how to get over that wall. That was written by me when I was 23 years old, fighting with a drug addiction, screaming for help, and nobody was there to help me. But God allowed me, listened to my words. Whether it was one, he didn't grab my hand. I held on by fingernails. But I believed something inside of me. And when I learned, I wrote my last one at that age, where it was all alone at sunrise, all alone at sunset. Once again, time has gone by. Once again, all alone. What are these strange energies that truly make me believe? Once the challenge is taken on, one truly feels what one gets out of it all. All alone at sunrise, all alone at sunset, but never lonely.
That's beautiful.
Those are the words at 23 years old, as lost as the dark world I chose and lived in and stayed in for the next 10 to 15 years before I found the light. No, when I speak of the Holy Bible, I speak not to tell anybody. If you're asking me how'd I do it, that's how I did it. I ain't going to say, well, it worked for this, for that. I know what works for me. Mm-hmm. And I know what can work for another. But unless one really wants to find their own answers, you can keep searching. There's many books, websites, and everything you want.
I don't know how to find my own way. I mean, I don't have a clue. So when I'm hearing you say, when people say, Victoria, how do you get started? You just get started.
You just get started. You just get started.
It's that simple.
It is. It is that simple. Because believe it or not, all right, let's look at it this way. Here's what I try. Here's what I've learned, and I want to share more than anything. When you're trying to find your way, okay, it's dark. You can't see to the right, you can't see to the left, and you can't see in front of you, right? But you have a soul and a spirit. And let's say you put on a miner's hat. and there's just that one little light, right? Minor. He only has one little light, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I live. I don't get to see what's here and what's over here. My light shows me my next step. And that's all I need. And if a person can believe in their path and take that next step through their own faith, which is FAITH, feelings arriving inside the heart. August 7th, 1989, the day that my life turned, and the alcohol and everything, that's what Father put inside of me. And my faith has been there because he awoke my faith up. If you seek, you shall find. If you knock, he shall answer. And a lot of people don't want to go that way. And it's hard for me to even say, gosh, I can't believe I'm on the radio speaking my spirit. But it's come time because people want to know, how do you do it, Victoria? And it's true. I mean, I just turned 68 years old. Are you kidding me?
I would have never, ever in a million years dreamed that. I'm just telling you, there's no way, girl.
So whatever it is.
Yeah, but there's something else. Okay. You've got the beauty, you've got the personality, you've got all this kind of stuff. But what I see, and I see all of that, but what I'm seeing is there's something shining inside you.
And that's the thing. That's what nobody gets. You know, you can sit here and I got photos and pictures, my whole salon, bodybuilding. You see all the photos and everything. Yes, I take great pictures, but that's not what it is me, is the light that lives in me.
Mm-hmm.
There is a light. When you live through as much darkness, not only that, but look at my child. My child survived a deadly illness, 5 months on life support. They told me she wouldn't have feet. Are you kidding me? And then Lawrence, he wanted to write a book. He's dying of cancer. I made sure he was a published author. I made sure my daughter went only through school, through college as a dancer. And I danced on the same stage with her for 10 years. No, this light is because I'm able to see that I've been blessed. Yeah, we all got terrible darkness, yes, and it can swallow you up. But if you know that there is a greater purpose for what you're supposed to do, then that's what we have to grab onto. I mean, there are times I've sat for years, you know, and I screamed to Father, like, why do I have to suffer all this pain? Why? And at the time, it was right on the Thursday as Christ was walking to Calvary, carrying his cross. And here in my vision, I'm right behind him carrying my cross. And Jesus stops and he says to me, this is what the world did, not the Father. These are things that are in me that are, I don't know. I don't make it up. I don't know. All I know is I was told that when I accepted Christ, it was a Holy Spirit that is alive and well, and it is the living Christ that lives inside of me. And that's what I live by. And I don't know how my life went from here to here. It didn't happen overnight. It's taken 40, 50 years for me to become who I am. There are no secrets. What it is that the light is inside. And once you let that light in, you keep nurturing that light. But if you keep looking for the world out there to fill and keep that light lit, that's where you lose it.
It's not going to happen. Let me ask you a question. Because we see celebrities all the time. It's like, okay, let's just use American Idol for an example.
Sure.
Okay, so you have someone, they make it on American Idol, blah, 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 blah. And you think, well, that's going to make them happy. It never does, because they haven't really learned the steps, the core values of what their life is all about. So they don't know how to go forward. They wind up being depressed. They wind up on pills, they wind up on alcohol, the whole kinds of things like that. What are your thoughts about this sentence? Okay, because I went through this too. So it was like, well, God, give it to me now. Give it to me now. But then God's thinking, I don't think you could handle it if I gave it to you now. You've not experienced.
Give what to you now? Give what to you now? What is he? Oh, well, who's asking for what to begin with? Give it to me now. Give it to me now. Do not tempt the Lord our God. First of all, what we should do if everybody wants to live as a good Christian, every morning, run by the 10 Commandments. Just run them by your head. As long as you stay in those, because that's all we're asking. If you can stand by all those and move on, you got it.
That's your core values right there.
There you go. So, I mean, if we ignore it and like ask him, like, I want it now while you want what now? What are you owed? What are you owed? We're not
look at all of the people who were famous. There was probably the most famous that I can think of right now person, if you want to call it famous, was probably Elvis Presley. But he was also one of the saddest people on earth too.
And now look at today. Look at today. Elvis Presley, his daughter, and his grandson are all removed.
Yeah.
No. As I've gotten to the age that I'm at, the only reason why I went to jail and did the things that I did was because of the life I chose to live. So I'm sorry if the world has to suffer through their consequences for their actions, but there is a way out.
Okay, let me ask you another question, because now we've raised kids, generations of, we want them to have everything easy. Okay, I'm going to give you your car. I'm going to give you money to go out on, on your dates or whatever. I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you that. Give. Christmas is not Christmas anymore because everybody gets stuff all through the year. So what do you have to celebrate for at Christmas? If that's what you're doing, is celebrating for Christmas. How important is it when we're raising our kids or even our grandkids that we say no? Okay. That they learn what the word no means.
No, here's how important that is. This morning, I'm in Bible study early in the morning with a bunch of beautiful women for the last 4 years. And now we all are grouped together because we're in the same school system together with our children. We've remained friends. What I'm finding is this: the generation of children that were raised thinking that they all get a trophy, participation points, and they all went out and they all had these tech jobs, and they all, they could care less, and $300 sneakers, and they don't care, and they can do and do. Well, what's happening now is they are finding that this generation of young people do not have the tools to deal with life's adversities. The stress. And it is amazing to me, the women who thought we did everything for our children, who are now crying that their young adults are incapable of handling disappointment. Mm-hmm. They don't have the tools because they weren't told no.
Let's talk about this on another segment. This is getting pretty deep, and I really love this.
Yes.
So we're going to have to call it a day. Less than a minute left in this segment. Victoria, thank you so much for being on the show. We're going to dig a little bit deeper next time you're on the show about this, because it's really important. I mean, this is life stuff. This is life. If you want to know the nitty gritty about it, this is it.
Yeah. And the world is going to change once again. And it's up to us to stay connected to the next generation so we can help guide them. That is our job.
We've been given one more chance. And we don't need to waste this chance. It needs to be the right thing. Victoria, thank you for being with us in the Newscaster studio. Oh, real quick, like 10 seconds. What can folks do if they would like to be part of the Newscasters?
Newscaster Victoria at the Newscasters.com. You can email me, or right on the website on the mobile app. You can just put that you're interested, and we'll get back to you. It's that simple.
And let me know. AP actually came through me, AP Stedham, your sports guy. So that's how we found out about you guys. Yeah, well, he said, how do you work part of it?
And I guess my board is on your show a lot. So we love it. It's like, who's on Donna's this week? I am.
We love it. We love it. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Keep sending emails to Donna at donnasedge.com. Donna's at donnasedge.com. You take care. We'll see you next time.
Bye.